Usyk's name's been thrown around so many times, but now that's just not relevant at this time.
This is your Usyk now.
Yeah, this is the Usyk. Like, you don't get this right, there's no point talking about Usyk, right? So Fabio Wardley is the Usyk for me now. I want to be champion again. I want to be two-time world champion, unified, undisputed, and he's in my way.
And there is Joseph Parker spitting some knowledge about his current situation and the reality of what's in front of him. There's no sense of talking about Usyk and all that, because he's not fighting Usyk, he's fighting Fabio Wardley. And my counterpunch is that's exactly the way he's supposed to think. Because I can't tell you how many times you see fights or these fighters talk about these projected fights and, oh, I want this fight and I want that fight. And what happens is they either lose their next fight by overlooking their opponent or underestimating their opponent, or all the above, really, or having a bad flat performance that makes them second guess. And I think it's not about the second guessing. I think it's all about the focus. You know, he said Fabio Wardley is his Oleksander Usyk. That's where he needs to be. But I think he already knows, though. Depending on what the WBO does, because they're giving Oleksander Usyk, I feel, ample time. A lot of people think he deserves the break. A lot of people think he doesn't need to pick an opponent. I think he should pick his opponent and then heal. You know, at least he knows that's out of the way, right? If that was the case, but you know, that's a whole different video. I think Parker knows as soon as if he can defeat Fabio Wardley, he's either going to fight for the WBO or he's already fought for the WBO. You know, because if he beats Fabio Wardley and they strip him, then he will become the WBO heavyweight champion of the world. And he did that by doing what? Beating Fabio Wardley. Just like Daniel Dubois on the IBF side beat Filip Hrgovic to become the IBF emailed champion. But it's really not an emailed champion if you had to actually fought for it. You just had the fight before getting the reward. That's all that really is. That's all that really means. And I think Joseph Parker realizes that. So the whole idea about Usyk this, Usyk that, it's irrelevant, because he's not getting in there with Usyk. He has to focus on someone that's bigger, someone that may punch harder, and someone that is also undefeated. So I got to take my hat off to the mindset of Joseph Parker, because Joseph Parker, you know, he's always calm. He's always respectful. I think sometimes he's a little bit too nice, but I mean, he can only be himself at the end of the day, right? So there you go, you know. And he has the right type of mindset. And as long as he keeps that mindset, regardless of how dishonest or how they treat him, okay, unfairly, I might add, treat Joseph Parker, I think he's still going to come out on top, you know. And if he keeps that, he has a good shot. So he may be, people, one last fight against or from getting the crown back, you know. So I think, if anything, if people think that Oleksander Usyk deserves more time out of the ring due to injury, I think the same energy should go into Joseph Parker getting his opportunity for the WBO once again. That's how I feel about it. You guys tell me what you think of Joseph Parker making a profound statement. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.